Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. We are going to work the junior adult, intermediate, advanced, and adult psi form today. Today is April 9th. That is a Thursday. I believe I said that in the last class. I might have said Tuesday. It's Thursday, though. So making sure that we're working on our psi form, kind of getting locked in the stuff that we worked in on Tuesday, as well as kind of hitting some of the finer points, kind of reviewing and refreshing the combinations in your form, potentially finishing off the form today. I'd like to go into next week with the form completely done. We're like 98% done at this point, so guys, kind of getting that last 2% would be helpful. And then kind of going in at that point and figuring out where, as a group, we need to really spend the most time on adjusting and fixing and kind of spending the most time on sharpening up and making sure we have a better understanding with. Okay, so let's start off just by warming our wrists up real fast. Go ahead, put both psi away. Okay, your hands in, you're going to clasp your fingers, and you're going to roll your wrists. So it's just this. It's just like a figure 8 motion. Backwards, you can do it away from yourself. You can do it towards yourself. Good, one way, other way, open fingers. So see how I kind of leave my hands here and I lift my elbows up, and I'm pressing my hands down to the middle. I'm not pushing as hard as I can. I'm just applying pressure so I can stretch out my wrists. Stretch out the muscles also in your forearms that are in control of flipping your psi around. Good, and then put your hand in the front, push it down. Light pressure back towards you. Keep your arm straight like a zombie arm. And then same thing upwards here. This one comes on top. Slightly pull it back in. Not like this. You're just here, arm straight. You're just pulling these fingers back towards you lightly and not very strongly is the goal there. Switch. And go upside down, same thing. Ooh, I feel that stretch a lot. Other side. Good, open and close. Home in a circle. Other way. Very good. In case not, take one of your psi out. Work on your open and close. This isn't just for doing the movement, it's also trying to warm up your fingers and warm up your wrists and your arms. So it's lock, roll, and every time you do it, you're trying to work on taking your next progressive step. And so the goal here is to lock that thumb and then kind of start to use the weight of the psi for you instead of it working against you. When you're first working it, where the heaviness of the psi and the weight to it can be kind of intimidating, now you're kind of using the weight of the psi to help it spin a little bit smoother. So I lock that thumb, and as I do, I turn it to the inside like I'm pouring. It's that pouring motion. And as I do, I let my fingers open up so it can then spin around them, and I can lock them. And then same thing back the other way. So instead of holding this in place and then wrapping my hand around it, I'll also practice, like now I turn my hand this way, so it starts to lift the psi up for me, and it's here. So I'm now using the weight of the psi to then spin it. Same thing. Good. Another way to do it, which may work for some, is the in and out motion. So instead of working it like this, maybe you're better pushing it out and pulling it back in. So the way to work it like that is I still have it like here in my defensive movement. All I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it pinched. See how I straighten out my fingers and point them to you, you point them to me, and then all I do is from here is I turn my hand sideways, and then that's the position my hand's going to go like that. Okay. So all I do is I kind of pull, I bend my elbow, and I push. I flick my wrist outwards, and when I do that, I open up my fingers, and so the psi actually rolls around. And then as it comes around to here, I just hook my fingers underneath the suka. So it's like that. Good. And then to get it back, I just keep that little pinch. This is my little crab claw. Keep a little pinch, and as I pull it back to me, I go to here. Good. So it's out, and it's back. Again, that one may not work for most, may not work for many, but it's just a unique way to work. It's a different way to work the flip in and flip out. Some that'll work better for, some it won't. So your job is to not figure out and learn and like all the different movements we do, but to figure out which few work for you and try to master those. Good. Okay, and then kind of reviewing real fast the combinations we have. We have 2 different combinations in your form that we do very frequently, very commonly. And so the first one is that punch, it's the fan, strike, down block. I'm getting this in the junior form mixed up. One more time. So it's the fan across your body. Good. Strike down. Good. Down block. And then if you want extra flair to finish the combination off, it's that opposite punch, same punch. So if I'm using my right hand, it's the fan. And you're trying to get that rotating motion, that flicking. It's almost like you're turning a doorknob. It's that flick, and then it keeps going and it points and it strikes. and then it down blocks, punch left, punch right. Okay, and then try your other side, rotate it out here, and then as it finishes that motion, use the weight of the side. Don't try to stop it in place. Let it circle and snap it down. Good, and then down block, punch left, right, punch left. I'm mirroring you. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see it in case you can't. Fan. And what you'll also get in the habit of doing is instead of just using your arms, your side, like with every other weapon, is very much a full body movement. Okay, and so it's still controlled, but instead of just going like this, you'll get used to turning your shoulders and then opening. As you finish this strike, I turn my shoulders open to do this one. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, punch, punch. Other one, ready? Open it, and as you open it, good, then it strikes, down, punch. One more time, pull, fan, open, snap, down block, punch, punch. Last time on the left side, fan, open, snap, down block, punch, punch. And I'm saying snap as in you're trying to snap that wrist, trying to pop your wrist here. So what you're doing, you're not doing as much of this. It's not a gigantic swing. So it's not this humongous motion. Good, it's more of a push and a pop. Good, so what's really important to make sure of, again, is that you don't have that. The reason we don't grab it like it's a baseball bat is because when we're doing this movement, the punch here, the strike and the stab, your hand won't physically, your wrist will not let go. If I point and put my thumb on the moto, it allows my wrist to open up better here. What that also does for this strike, again, if my thumb is on the moto like it's supposed to be, it allows for that flexibility. But if I'm here, your wrist just doesn't bend that direction. It's not supposed to. The tendon, getting super sciencey, the tendon of your thumb is not that long. Okay, and so if I try to extend it this way, you could potentially stretch out that tendon and hurt it. This is the one I'm talking about right here. Good, so that's why I don't want that motion to happen. But your thumb rests on the moto, so it actually has room for that tendon to be more flexible. Good. So again, it's here, and then I push, keeping my thumb on the moto, down block, double punch. Okay, combination number 2 is the punch. So from the punch, that's when you turn your wrist and let it fan, slap it, and then down block. Good. Other side, punch, fan, down block. Good. And every time you do it, when we first started teaching it, we did it very slow and deliberately, which is important. But you also want to get to where you're also performing the movement. So when you start to gain more confidence in the individual movements, try to move that hand a little bit stronger. So you're doing the movement. That part's also important because that's what the form is going to look like when we speed it up. It's going to be a lot tighter and snappier. It's not that you're out of control. There's still a very solid start and solid end to the movements, but you're starting to transition them a little bit faster. So that requires me to then switch hand positions a lot cleaner. Okay, so now we're going to start our form. Take your sai in your right hand. Oh, there you go. Put it on the left side of your belt. There it goes. Start in rest position, ready position. If you're intermediate belts, this is that move we just did in the form. Good, when you went here. It's that roll. It's inside roll to outside roll. That's how your hand ends up looking. You turn to the left. I down block. Good. Step forward, drop down, punch with the right hand. Grab the side from your belt. You're going to push off that right foot, turning your left foot, leaning back to it. As you pull this hand back, notice that as this one's by my belt, this one's out. As I pull it back, this one towards my belt. So I'm here. They switch spots. As I finish my fan, I open my stance up. Chungle stance, strike down. Down block with the right hand. Punch left, punch right. Good. I'm going to slide and turn over my left shoulder. Good. If you're looking at the camera or the TV, if it's here, good, you're going to have to turn away from it to get where you're going. So you're turning your back completely to the TV or completely to the front of the room as you turn. Good. So if you're looking in the camera or the TV right there, good, that's good. So your back is to it. Fan, open up, strike. Good. So again, at this point, if you're looking at the TV, it should be right there. You should be looking over your left shoulder to see it. Good. Down block, punch right, punch left. Right hand opens up, left hand returns to your belt. The left foot stays where it is. Now you're going completely away from the camera, completely away from the TV. Fan, and then you're going to open it up, pivot and strike. Down block, punch left, punch right. Pivot your feet is a really goofy little step. Your right foot just does a walking step forward, then you pivot again. Left hand does a high block, then a low block, then a high block. You step forward, punch, this is combo number 2. Punch, quick fan, quick down block. Step forward, punch, fan, down block. Step forward, punch, fan, strike, down block. Punch left, punch right. This is that big motion. So you circle, and then you pull back to you. Good. Okay, and then you double punch down, double punch up, open up both hands, cross that X in front, rise up. See how my body kind of shifts backwards so I can then strike to the front of my body. Double down block, punch left, punch right. This is the new part. And then do that block again where you circle them and roll them back. You're doing that a second time. Okay, so again, what that part was, to finish it off, we did the punch, fan, just kind of go back with me a little bit. We did punch, fan, strike, down block with our right side. We did a punch left and a punch right. You do the big scooping motion. Notice how my right hand kind of takes over and does a bigger scoop. Left hand does a smaller scoop. So this one kind of just rotates in place. You pull back to you on either side of your body. Don't poke yourself. Good. Step back out to chungle. So there's a lot of fugal to chungle switches in this part, which is kind of be tricky. It can be kind of tricky. Double punch down. See the angle of my side. Pull back in. Slight little rear back with your stance. You don't put your foot behind you. You just slide and shift your weight back so you can step in and punch with more force. And then I open up my hands. I cross them down below me. Very good. And then as I raise my hands up and block the oncoming strike, I do shift my weight backwards. So I can then land and strike them forwards. Lock it, double down block, punch left, punch right, big scoopy motion. That's the end of the form. Okay, for adults, if there's any adult students watching this, that's about a third of your form. So if you're intermediate and advanced sports, understand that is a third of this entire form. It's all of your form. So that's all we're testing on. Good, but for adults, they have 2/3 more to go. They have a lot more to go. So wish them luck. Okay, so for today, we're just going to stick to that portion of the form. Okay, right now, let's go back and let's sharpen up that second half once we get to here. Let's get that part. I feel like you guys are really strong on the very first part where you're changing directions. This part, though, could probably use some work, so we're going to spend some extra time working on it, all right? So go to that chungle stance. You just did that strange little turn. You do that high block, that low block, that high block. Step forward, punch with the right hand, right to the center of the chest. Quickly, fan block. Good. Hand stays out, down block. Step forward. Good. If you see my hand do this motion where it just rises up, good. Most in any advancing punches, whether they're open hand with no sai or they have weapons in them, you want the push and pull to happen. Okay, we talk about certain tenets of Taekwondo or certain philosophies in your Taekwondo training. One of the most common is the push and pull, which means when one hand is extending, when one arm is extending, the other one is returning to you to add twice as much force and power to what's going on. Okay, so again, that's why when we did punch, fan, down block, before you step forward and punch, I have to straighten this arm up so I can then get that push-pull motion. Fan, down block. Point it back at me, step to me, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Big looping motion, pull back, step out with the right foot, double punch down, slide back just a little bit, it just shuffles back to you, not really in any particular stance at this point. Put it back where you got it, double punch high, open them up, cross them right in front of your belt. Okay, and you're going to raise them up, clashing. So if there's like a bow staff or a hammer fist or an axe kick, something striking down towards your head, you're using that upward momentum to block it and deflect it, and then strike them in the collarbones. Double down block. Pull it back in. Punch, punch. Big loop, big final pull. Okay, so that part a little bit faster. Then we'll put it into the beginning of the form and do all of it together. Ready? Okay, so we just did the turn. High block, low block, high block, step, punch right, fan, down block, step to me, punch, fan, down block, step to me, punch, fan, strike, down block, double punch, big circle and pull, step out, change your stance to jungle stance, double punch down, good, pull back in, slide that foot just a little bit closer to you so you can balance and step back out, double punch up, open them up, cross them, raise, strike, double down block, punch left, punch right, big breakaway. Okay, so let's lock and load everything. Do it all from the very beginning. Put your sai, right-hand side goes on the left-hand side. That can be complicated. Right hand goes across the body like a seatbelt. Okay, rest. Ready? Circle the right hand. Turn the head to the left. Okay, the left foot's going to slide over and you down block. Make sure it's in the front. Your left foot, you step off and over the left. So you don't put it behind you. You step over. Good? Like you're walking to the left. Down block, step forward, drop down punch, grab the side by your belt. From there, as I push off with this foot, I slide my left foot, I turn it. Good? So I'm leaning back on a sideways foot in a Fugel stance. And that's when you do the combination number 1. Turn, slide. Okay, so now you do the same combination on the other side. Your right hand returns to your belt, which is the cue, that same kind of push-pull thought process. I pull this one, so I have to push this one out. And from there, I rotate over my left shoulder into Fugel stance, fan, open up, strike, down block, punch right, punch left. Again, pull and push, pull the left hand to you, which pushes the right hand out, slide, fan, open up, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Take, and you're going to move your whole body around. It looks like a lot of movement. All you're really doing is you're lifting up this foot, you're turning this foot completely around, and you're putting this foot behind you. So it's all you're really doing. Okay, now what commonly happens, because what students are a lot of times used to doing, is turning and putting it in the front. Just make sure this leg here, all it does is go sideways. Okay, well, this leg just goes straight over. This foot pivots to the left. So it's lift up the left, turn, put the right foot behind you. So your left foot's now the front foot. High block, low block, high block. Stepping into combination number 2, punch with the right hand, fan, down block, block the knee, step forward, punch, fan, down block, step forward, punch, fan, small shuffle into the strike, down block, punch left, punch right, big loopy scoopy for a technical term, step out, double punch down, pull back in, double punch up, open up the hands, cross them at your waist, lift as you're sliding backwards to then strike them in the chest, double down block, punch left, punch right, big breakaway, one more time. And that's the rest of the form. Okay, and just in case you didn't see that, it's rest, ready, and then as your feet, you always slide your left foot across. So as the left foot slides across, your side both go into your left hand. So it's there. Good. You always want to try, if you can, you want to travel with side in both hands, or both side in one hand, so you always have a free hand. Good. Okay, if not, you can always do it like that. Simple. Let's do the side one more time as a team. Ready? Lock and load. Hope I didn't go too fast. I wasn't trying to go fast. I was trying just to smooth it out a little bit. Because when you're learning, it's actually easier once you understand the form to actually perform it, to actually do it, than it is to learn it. And what I mean by that is when you're learning a form, we have to slow it down and break it down piece by piece and go over every little movement. It's really hard to find the rhythm of the form. It's really hard to find the tempo of it. Okay, when a lot of times when doing forms, staying at a consistent speed and tempo helps your body move with more coordination. So that's why I'm trying not to speed through the form, but I am trying to do it and not stop moving so that hopefully your brain then doesn't stop thinking. It just keeps going. All right, so let's try it again. I'll try to slow it down just a little bit, but I'm going to keep moving throughout the form. So rest, ready, circle, turn, down block, step forward, drop down punch, slide back, strike, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Bring it out, turn, fan, step out, strike, down block, punch right, punch left. Open up the right, slide, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Turn, step, turn, high block, low block, high block, step forward, punch, fan, down block, step left, punch, fan, down block, step right, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Pull, breakaway, double, punch down, double, punch up, open them up, cross the waist, bring them up, strike to the chest, double down block, punch left, punch right, big pull. And then rest and ready, and that's it. And that may have seemed like I was going too fast, but try this with me real fast. Take your sai, put them in your belt. Okay? Maybe you can even take your sai. Take your hands, go like this. Ready? Follow along. That's the tempo that we're trying to keep. It's not that fast, is it? You can do that, right? Yeah. So that's all we're really doing when we're doing the form. We're trying to keep the same pace, the same metronome, and have a movement through that entire pace. Good. And you can follow that pace. I'm sure you caught on really fast, like right away. I'm sure if I do this, I'm better snapping with my left hand. You've probably already caught up with your claps, right? Okay, you can do the same thing with your sai. Ready? Okay, so try to keep that thought in your head when we're doing the form. Try to keep that beat, that tempo. Ready? Put it away. Here we go. One more time. Last time if we're awesome. Okay, ready? And there's tempo. And rest. Ready. Circle. Down block. Punch. Fan. Strike. Down block. Punch left. Punch right. Switch hands. Fan left. Strike left. Down block left. Punch right. Punch left. Switch hands. Fan right. Strike right. Down block. Punch left. Punch right. Pivot. Step. Pivot. High block. Low block. High block. Step. Punch. Fan. Down block. Step. Punch, fan, down block, step, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right, pull, breakaway, double, punch left, double, punch up, punch high, open up, cross the waist, raise it up, double strike, double down block, punch left, punch right, break away. Rest, ready, feet together, bow. Okay, so that keeps that rhythm. And the cool thing is if you didn't follow the whole thing, so you weren't able to get the whole form with that rhythm, figure out where you kind of lost the rhythm at. The next time you do the form, try to get one move past that. So if you're able to keep the rhythm up until like we started to face backwards and did this part and then you kind of got lost a little bit, just remember that. Don't stress out about it. Just remember it. And the next time you do the form, try to get that far. Good, and then and you'll start to add move by move. We have time to get better, and we have room to get better. We have room to improve, and that's okay. We're not in a race. We're not trying to run to the finish line and see who can get there first. We're all trying to get there together. So your part is just to do the best you can. If you're having like trouble or challenges in one particular area, if something's just not making sense, whether it's hard because my back is to you or if the mirror is throwing, if something's throwing you off, just let us know in the comments or kind of call us or Facebook us or email us, and then we'll get back to you the best we can just to make sure that, because everybody learns differently. So I try to teach it a couple different ways, but if your eyes or your brain or your ears just aren't adept to hearing it or seeing it or understanding it that way, then it's not your fault if you're not getting it. And I'll try to teach it a different way. But through communication, hopefully we can figure out the best ways that we all learn and if it's working and if it's not, so we can make those adjustments for you. Okay, I hope your training is going very well. That's all for today for you guys. Feet together and bow. Again, try to pick up your sai and practice with your parents' permission, of course. And practice this form once or twice, either tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, just to make sure that between now and Tuesday, there isn't that big 5-day gap, 4-day gap where you haven't touched your sai, because then it's almost like trying to relearn everything. Good. So try to pick them up one more time. Add almost like your own third, like 10-minute long sai class where you just go through your form, see how much you remember between now and Tuesday, just to keep yourself fresh and keep yourself sharp. All right. Bow. Thank you for today. You are dismissed.